Hello, students. This is part 2 of our assignment for the Students with Special Needs Lesson Plan and Concept Map. This is the section on the actual lesson plan that we are building based on the concept map that we created earlier in part 1. So if you haven't been able to watch the video walkthrough or do that part of the assignment, you need to do that first before you actually build out your lesson plan. So the first thing I want you to do is you'll have to click on the template in the assessment page of the module for the week, and that will bring you to ask you to make a copy. And then when you do, it'll look just like this, just a template. I need you to go up into the document name, because this is just a Google Doc, and go ahead and add your name just like I did here. So when I look at it, I know it's your lesson plan. So with that said, the concept map that I built out was based on animal habitats. It was a first grade science activity. Content statement was about living things that what they needed to survive. And therefore, I'm going to, in this top line here where it says delete this title line and type your plan title, I'm going to call this animal habitats. Now on our concept map, we did break it down into air, food, water, shelter, which all make up a habitat. We did build it out based on shelter. And in this, we're going to build it out based on the adaptations using that same concept. So the author is going to be me. So I want to make sure I type my name in here. And then it says the time required. So this could be 1 day, 1 hour, 1 week. How long do you anticipate working on this unit or this concept? So in this case, animal habitats. I'm going to say for first graders, we're going to do it throughout the week. So I'm going to say 1 week. It really doesn't matter to me. It's just an idea to get you to think about how long your activity may take, how you might build this into something else that you're doing. So just a general best guess estimate of how long it might take you to work on this project. Intended grade level, this is going to be first grade. And I forgot up here, you need to say what area it is. This is science. And then it's asking for the Common Core standard that I'm going to use. And I already had the standard that I picked for my concept map. So I'm going to paste that here. And again, you can just copy and paste it. So living things have basic needs, which are met by obtaining materials from the physical environment. So the physical environment would be the habitat. So the big idea or key concept, which is our learning objective, as I noted in the concept map, would be to have the students be able to, after researching the animal that they were interested in, they would be able to create an animal habitat. Following up with that, what we want to do is explain the activity that our students would be doing. So explain, what do you mean by creating an animal habitat? So I would say students will research an animal of their choice, including food, shelter, water, air, and design an appropriate animal habitat to include basic needs for that animal. So that's kind of the big idea, the activity that they'll be doing. In general, the student might be using glue and scissors and paper. And yes, we can do that. However, we are trying to adapt this to technology simply because it's a technology class. So although you can do it with glue and paper and scissors, we're just trying to think of different ways that technology can be infused in order to, again, look at it from a different perspective. So while you may give them the option to do glue and scissors and things like that, we are looking at it strictly from a technology standpoint. So the first question is students with disabilities. So using a technology, and that's key here, explain how you would adapt the activity to a student with a disability. I don't care what disability you think of, just explain what you would be doing and how that would work. So students with disabilities. I don't really care which disability you pick. We've researched some, you did your projects on them. So you might want to choose one that you've already researched. But I want you to find something that would help these students understand the building of habitats that technology might help them with to enable them to create their own animal habitat. So what I chose was kind of a neat little program, online game called Habitat Maker. And this is a drag and drop game, which I thought was really neat, that students could use to drag and drop to create an animal habitat. And it's perfectly good for the ages that I'm looking for. So I thought this would be great to use, especially for our students who may have trouble manipulating individual keys. They can use an adaptive mouse to drag and drop the habitat. So what I would put here is using an online drag and drop habitat maker. I'm going to put the link here. And an assistive mouse. Students with tactile challenges will be able to create their own habitat and print out a page. You can also use text-to-speech and read-write to help with instructions. So as you can see, this is one way that students who might have trouble typing or manipulating very small movements can use an assistive mouse and be able to create their own habitat online. And then it says list at least one technology used in your adaptation. And I am going to say using the online habitat maker here and an adaptive mouse. So the mouse is either bigger or it has bigger buttons or a different way to click, or it can even be something that can be used, fitted to a wheelchair, which can be manipulated with either your mouth or something to that effect. So I've got that for my special needs students with disabilities. Now I'm going to look at this same project from the aspect of TAG students, or talented and gifted. So I think for my TAG students, what I want them to do is to, using Minecraft for education, build their own habitat based on research for their particular animal. The habitat will include authentic foliage and resources. So again, this is a little harder. It would take them a little more. They'd have to know a little more about the particular plants, animals, shelters. They might have to create a cave for a bear, things like that. But it would be a little more challenging for them. Again, this is for students who need that extra challenge. And of course, the technology for this is going to be Minecraft for education. You'll also need to put your resource in here. And I do have my resource. The first one I already had the website, so I just need to add the website for Minecraft. So I'm going to put this here. Here's an example where they're building a habitat with bees. So that's good. Just let me know where you got some of this information. It could be something like this, or it could be an article. It could be some assistive technology page that you were able to find, anything like that. So now we're on to cultural, ethnicity, and language diverse students. So this is one students have a more difficult time with because they don't quite understand. So it might be students, you might have quite a melting pot of students in your class. Maybe some of them, English isn't their first language. Maybe they struggle with certain customs, different, again, language barriers. So how can we adapt to bring in or work with their culture, ethnicity, or language? And I thought really long and hard on this one. And another one that I found that I thought would be really good for this is that students could use the Minecraft for education to build a habitat based on an animal from their native country or ancestry. Or they could create a cardboard diorama and use a video capture technology. Could be mobile phone, iPad, something like that, to record a video describing their country and its habitat for the animal they chose. They can also give the name of the animal or other resources in their native language as well as English. So again, this really gives them the opportunity to either find something in their ancestry if they're not first gen here in the country. Maybe their parents are from a different country and they want to link their culture, their heritage to that. Maybe they would like to, let's say, the name of the animal in Spanish or German, along with the English translation. So by doing a video, they could not only show the habitat through Minecraft, but then they could also do a little narration that gives more information about the country, their heritage, and maybe even the different languages or phrases used to describe that habitat. So again, there's various versions of this, and obviously for first grade, They would have to have help, and that's fine. But most students are able to click the record button on their phone, and then the teacher could help with the video piece. It could be a QR code that's on a paper or something like that. So again, this is just a very broad idea. We're just thinking in terms of broad ideas. So I'm going to say Minecraft for education. And I'm just going to copy this up here. So let's just copy that whole thing. And then I also got some information from Nat Geo Kids. And it was all about countries and the animals for each country. So this is a really good resource that I could give the kids to look up if they're not quite sure what animals are in their heritage or their ethnicity or their language or their culture. This would be a really good way for them to research that. They would also need either a mobile phone camera or iPad camera to make the video. Video editing software by the teacher. So once again, we're really just giving that broad overview for this assignment. You would think a little bit more about what resources you had available, if you could get them on Nat Geo, that kind of thing. So the last piece is to link your concept map. You'll do this by using the share button on the MindMeister map, and you will just copy it and paste it in here. And just make sure you do a space so it turns into an active link so I can go ahead and click on it. And that's it. The last thing that you will do then is to add this to your portfolio on the Learners and Technology page. And you'll do it just like you normally would. You will have a title, Students with Special Needs Lesson Plan and Concept Map. You will pull in this document using the Drive, the Google Drive feature, to pull in the document right from your Google Drive. Just make sure that you've shared it with me. You could do that either by sharing it with me here or by putting it into your EDU 120 folder, which is what I recommend, and making sure that I have access to your folder. And then you're just going to put your ISTE standards for students and ISTE standards for educators. What did you achieve by creating this lesson plan and the concept map overall? So as a student, what ISTE standards did you achieve? And you're going to copy and paste those right directly from the ISTE standards that you have on your standards page. And then what did you achieve from an educator's point of view by doing this lesson plan? Hopefully this was a great walkthrough for you and you understood everything that's in it. But if not, I'm always here for questions. Please be sure to give me a call, contact me by email, text, however you need to get a hold of me before the due date if you're having questions, and I'll be happy to go through it with you.